So lately I've been releasing those videos I did in 2021 because some of you haven't seen them. I want to talk about the last one that I did before I left for the summer that year. You remember how I said in my Annabelle video that I have my own opinions about the videos that I make, and that for a while that review was my least favorite? I did gain respect for it because I did put in the work, I did accomplish something. My review for Clueless is actually my least favorite because it has this icky backstory to it. So I saw it last year and didn't like it too much, decided that I wasn't going to review it. This was around the time that I was trying to find something to review, to leave off on before coming back fall of 2021. And I wasn't really finding one. And for some reason, one of my parents was just hounding me to get a final review there, even though I just could have had a video saying that I had nothing. Have a great summer, I'll see you next year. But for some reason, one of my parents was determined for me to have a final review that semester. So to get him off my back, I just decided to review Clueless. And it became probably my most divisive review. And for a while, I've wanted to go back and revisit this movie and see if my thoughts have changed. This isn't something new for movie criticism. There are many times where movie critics change their opinions. It happens all the time. Years ago, I thought Harry Potter sucked. And now, it's one of my favorite franchises of all time. Even a movie like The Dark Knight, which even before I did a review for it, I just thought it was good. It wasn't until when I saw it for the review that I finally latched onto, wow, that movie is awesome. So I've flip-flopped on movies before. So I was optimistic that I would have something interesting to say about Clueless in another video. Before I continue with my thoughts, I'll show you that original review. Clueless is about a high school girl named Cher who decides to find love after realizing how shallow her world is. Fun fact, the same person who requested Mean Girls also requested Clueless. So there's that. I'll admit it's weird to talk about it given the controversy when I did Mean Girls. That frustrates me because I did like Mean Girls and the issues I had with it were legitimate. The issues I have with Clueless are also legitimate. Unlike Mean Girls, however, I didn't like it. Sure, it's amusing on occasion. One scene is laugh-out-loud funny, and Alicia Silverstone is good. But her character is also where a few of my problems are located. She lacks a vulnerability or character trait to allow you to really care about her. For the most part, she's just the popular girl. So when I was asked to root for her, I didn't. As for the plot, there almost isn't one, and that's because the story lacks focus. The first 20 or so minutes are devoted to something that in the long run has no true importance. And after that, two other plot lines cut back and forth between each other throughout the rest of the runtime. Neither of them make a mark, and any possible momentum decreases. And the final reveal, which I won't mention, came out of left field to me. Sure, there's breadcrumbs earlier pointing in that direction, but it's not built up in a way that it pays off. It felt tacked on. To be clear, I didn't expect high art from Clueless. I anticipated something like Mean Girls, an enjoyable, light, style over substance film. What I saw was worse than that. I'm going to give Clueless a C. Definitely not the high that I wanted to end on, but someone wanted me to review a certain film, and I did. On a positive note, I will be coming back in the fall to continue this segment. If you guys have any ideas, you can contact me through this email at any time. Pause the video if you want to write it down. Have a great summer, and I'll see you in August. So I watched it recently, and I really enjoyed it this time. in preparation for this video, I rewatched that other review a few times, and I disagree with most of it. One of the things being that I actually cared about Alicia Silverstone's character. I don't get why I didn't before. She's very likable all the way through. She has great chemistry with a lot of the actors. One of the things that makes her this relatable human character is that she has to help her dad keep track of his health because her mom deceased, and she has to kind of step up and do that, and I thought it was kind of sweet. Speaking of her dad, he has some of the most laugh-out-loud moments of the entire movie. I forgot how awesome he was.
Hi, Daddy. This is my friend Ty.
Get out of my chair. Hey, you. Anything happens to my daughter, I got a 45 and a shovel. I doubt anybody would miss you.
This is where I'm going to issue a spoiler warning. If you haven't seen Clueless, go watch the movie and then come back. The whole end where I'm talking about this reveal that happens that came out of left field is when Cher discovers that she's in love with her stepbrother, played by Paul Rudd. And the first time I watched the movie, that really didn't work for me. Part of it was because it felt a bit incestual. And the other thing is that I thought the writers really didn't put that much effort into writing their relationship. The incest part, I understand. But now I accepted it because they're not that closely related. But the other part where I thought they didn't give effort to these characters, I don't get that at all. Because their relationship and that reveal absolutely worked for me this time around. Alicia Silverstone and Paul Rudd have excellent chemistry with each other. It's the type where they're like roasting each other, but at the same time you can tell they enjoy each other's company. So when the whole romantic aspect of that came into play, I actually bought into it. I still kind of hold on to that part where I explain that the movie doesn't have a plot. It doesn't have a straight plot. The whole movie is Cher just kind of meandering, doing stuff. She does things with this girl Ty that she's helping out. She does something with her friend. She's either with Paul Rudd. And when it's like cutting back and forth between these things, it doesn't always contribute to the strongest forward momentum. And one thing I actually didn't mention in the other review, but is slightly an issue here, is Cher's monologue throughout the entire movie. For the vast majority, it worked because it makes sense for the character. But there are a few occasions where I feel like she's explicitly telling the audience something that could have been told visually. And it detracted a bit from the movie. But as far as issues, that's it. Even when the film was at its weakest points, it was still very entertaining because of Alicia Silverstone's excellent performance and charisma. Watching it again, I had a blast from start to finish. I'm going to give Clueless an A-. Before I go, let me leave you guys with the question. What is a movie that you've had a drastic change of opinion with? Leave that in the comments below, and have a great day.